Well, good morning everyone. I hope you are well and I hope you're continuing to stay safe in your houses. And I am just delighted every Tuesday to know that so many of you are joining me at 10 o'clock for our Pilates class. And I hope that you enjoy today's just as much as you have the other ones. And it's just so lovely to know there's new faces out there and to know there's the familiar people too. So please do continue to put a little thumbs up or a little message so that I know that you're with me. And if you just want to remind yourself of your Pilates principles. So our shoulders are drawn away from our ears. I'm in my Pilates position, my traditional Pilates stance where my heels are drawn together and my toes are facing out. So my knees are connected, my calves, my thighs, my hip bones are shining forwards and my back is nice and flat. So try not to have your back arched or forwards, having your hip bones forward in a nice neutral position. Okay, so with this good weather, maybe you've been having some ice cream, think of a slider, 2 wafers, and you're the ice cream in the middle. So you're nice and svelte even if you don't feel it. Keep your chest open wide, crown of the head towards the ceiling. The back of the neck is in line with the spine. And I just want you to think of lifting one shoulder up towards the ear so the fingers are pointing down and relax. So just draw the shoulder just into your little shoulder lifts, mobilizing those shoulders if you've been sitting, marking children's work in your house or gardening or watching too many box sets like myself. Your shoulders might be stiff from different chairs and different positions to what your body's used to. Hold this one up and release other side. So just lifting, and even though it's just the top of the body that's moving, just in our little shoulder shrugs here, we're still keeping that core connected, keeping the weight through the soles of the feet evenly distributed. And now lift both shoulders up and throw them away. Lift them up and breathe out as you drop them. Lift them up, tight in, but try not to just bring them up towards your neck. Your neck stays, your shoulders lift and release. Well done. Just bring them up and round and back, just circulating the shoulder blades, and then change direction, draw them forward. You can make those circles bigger, getting a little bit more mobilization into the top of the back. Lovely, well done. Excellent. And release. So just bring those arms up to shoulder height, okay? So make sure, I'm just trying to sort my alignment out, make sure this hand isn't in, that it's lovely and straight. So your fingers are up towards the ceiling, palms are flat. And I want you just to think of taking one arm down, fingers to the floor, and then changing over. So we're working into the triceps, the biceps, that's the front and the backs of the arms, and you're getting a full shoulder rotation, really mobilizing across the front of that arm, but as well across the back of the shoulders. Fantastic, that's really strong work, lovely. Looking really great. Just keep checking your alignment. Sometimes, in the studio we have I'm trying to sort out that hand, we have our mirrors to help us, but in your own house you don't. So you just need to keep making sure that you have a nice balance going on with your body, that you're synchronized, and then holding it here. I want you just to flex and point and just rotate that wrist and the other direction, lovely, and change over, point and flex that wrist. So maybe if you've circling that wrist as well, if you've got arthritis or you've been stiffened up from lack of movement, or the most movement might be hand to mouth and changing remote control, and release. Lovely. So bring those elbows up, and I want you just to think this time of bringing them in front. Now keep the elbows high, extend them forward and draw them up. So working into those biceps, offering me your little treats. Little scones are coming forward, or your treacle bread, whatever you've been baking, perhaps in lockdown, you're doing better than me. Extending those arms out, really feel the full length of the shoulders, nice and slowly. I tend to go too fast because I'm talking, giving you instructions, and my mind is whizzing as to what I want to achieve in our lesson today. Lovely guys, well done. And release, just bring the hands up to the shoulders, just extend and point. Bring the hands up to the back of the head, and then I want you to think of drawing the elbow down towards that hip. So just drawing the elbow down towards that hip. Same side, just squeezing into the obliques, working a wee bit more into the midsection of the back, the lower back as well. Excellent folks, really brilliant. And then extend the arm down towards, just see if you can feel the full side of that body. And then if you want, extend the opposite arm, so fingers facing to the ceiling and to the floor. Lovely. And come up. Excellent, well done. Just bring those hands back, and as I say, I'll turn to the side so you can see me. So try not to have your hands, if you can see your elbows, draw your elbows back to the side of the body so that they're out of your view. And then we're going to, I've done that side, we're going to go to the other side. Breathing out. That's the problem, I'm changing position so that you can see me from different angles, because sometimes my teaching points, my explanations, it might be difficult to see if you're just looking at the front of me. So although I might be turning round to the side and to the back, you stay facing forwards, just to show you from a different angle. So you're just squeezing that elbow down. You try not to bring your chin in front of the body. Keep your head just in line, a nice distance between your chin and your chest. Now hold here, you can lengthen that hand down, lengthen the other one up to the sky, really stretching the side of the body. And as you feel that releasing, you're becoming more flexible. You might be able to just increase that a little bit more. And come up, lovely. So I want you to think of bringing those arms in front of the body and then bring them up and just connect. I'll move back so you can see me. We're connecting, I'm just going to bend so you can see the backs of my hands. We're connecting the backs of the hands like a little swan, okay? So I'll move back. So bring your arms in front like you're cradling your little, if you've got a toddler at home, you're cradling your baby, or you're cradling your pussycat, or you're cradling your dog. And then draw those elbows, so like a little swan. And then I want you to think of coming into your plie, and then coming up. So you're squeezing the knees out to the side, and you're just drawing the backs of the hands up, beautifully graceful, excellent. And think of that back just rolling up and down your imaginary wall behind you, so that you're not coming forward. I'll show you the side angle, so our chest is not coming forwards. We're just playing down, crown of the head up towards the ceiling. A nice flat back. Now in this next one, I want you to stay down, and if you can, lift your heels up. If you don't like your hands there, you can keep them out, or you can have them on the waist. Just lifting your heels, or you can lift one heel and then the other. Just really working on our balance, working on the mobilization of those ankles, those knees. If you wish, just balancing on your tippy toes, take your arms out, and you can lengthen them up, breathing out as you sit down. Don't drop your scones, keep your palms facing up, staying here, and just slowly lifting and lowering that tailbone. Excellent. Brilliant. And release. Well done. Just bring your hands to your hips. Just take one knee out to the side, just circling. Breathing out as you rotate, and then change direction. The standing knee is soft. And remember, if your balance isn't good, you can come over to a chair or to a worktop. Just keeping your form and release. Just pedal those little feet and then change over other side. So just opening into those hips. Keeping your knee, depending on your mobility, out to the side and then change direction. But we don't want to twist round. We want to keep those headlights shining forwards and just change direction, bring it in towards the center of the body. And if you want, you can just lift your knee in or turn it out to the side. Just hold it out to the side, just stretching the under part of that leg. And other side, bring your knee in and just bring your hand and release. Well done. So we were in our plie position with our feet connected. We're now going to come into our wide squat position. So toes are turned out and our heels are away from each other this time. Okay? Now before we start on the legs, bring those hands back up again. And I just want you to think of rotating the thumb down towards the floor and then back. So internal and external rotation of that wrist. Lovely. And working into those biceps and triceps again. Super. And release. Okay. So this time I want you to lean into that side of the leg and then come back. Same side, lean in. So you're just taking the center of the thigh towards me. The knee is out. Your feet are both facing the opposite direction. And you're really working on those inner thighs. Now hold this one here. You can stretch it a little bit more. And if you want to straighten that leg and just reach forward, either bring the arm behind you up to the sky or to your head. And you're just going to get a lovely hamstring stretch on that side of the body. If you bring your arm behind you, just really stretching the shoulder and come back up. So just soften the knees. You may need to walk those little feet back in. And the other side. So just leaning into that knee, breathing out. Lovely. Feel the inside of that leg. And if you want to just bring that hand overhead as you stretch into the side of the body. Really working the inside of the leg. And then holding this one. And if you want to straighten the leg, bring the arm round behind you or keep it up there at the head. Excellent. So getting a nice stretch into the back as well as the legs. And come up. Excellent. Well done. So just walk your little feet in. Okay. And then I want you to come down onto your knees. And I think everybody always goes, oh brilliant, we're coming to the floor. You always feel a big sigh of relief when you're in the studio of everybody sighing when they come down to the floor. They're so excited to get down to the floor. But we're not lying down completely yet. We're staying in our kneeling position. So knees are underneath our hips and ankles, everything is in line. Let's show you from the side, okay? So everything is switched on still, tailbone shining down, nice flat back. And I want you just to take one leg out to the side. So your toe is in line with your knee. And just bring your arms out in front of you. And then draw your bottom back, but keep your chest up. So I'll show you from the side. The leg is out and we're just taking our bottom back. So really, that leg that we just stretched the inside of. The sole of the foot is towards the floor. Okay, I'll turn back, you keep going. Like I said it earlier, I'm just changing position so that you can see the movement. So remember, you're facing me, your chest is not down, or your chin is not down to your chest. And you're just taking this one, and as you feel that hip, push your hip forward, really working into your core as you push the hip forward, and then take it back. And push up, lengthening up, and take it back. And one more. And release. Bring those elbows back to the side of the body and shoot them forwards. Working into those triceps. And and release. Well done. Draw that leg in and take the other leg out to the side. So your toe is level with your hip. And again, we're just drawing the chest forwards, drawing the hip back, really working. And as you come, you can shoot that hip forward, really pressing the belly forward, really stretching out the hip flexors. Lovely, guys. You're looking really strong. This is by no means easy. And we're working upper and lower body, helping our flexibility, lengthening and strengthening all those muscles. And hold it here. You can just bring yourself a little bit lower and come up and release. Well done. Just bring those knees. You might want to just circle the hips. So if you have a little hula hoop around the waist. Oh, that reminds me, I'm so excited to tell you. I ordered, not only did I order a new Pilates mat, change direction again, but I also ordered a weighted hula hoop. Wow, that's just reminded me as we're doing this little hula hoop. Not that I can even do a hula, or whatever it's called, but I thought it'd be good for alignment, okay? So just take those arms up and take them to one side, take your hips to the other side, just stretch it out. So I'll show you from the side, you're just drawing the bottom down, opposite hip towards opposite heel, and as you come up, lengthen those biceps in close to your ears, lengthen your fingers up to the ceiling, so just rotating like you're skiing, windmilling those arms, any tension you may have felt there in the hips and in the shoulders. One more, and just settle over here on one side, bring your hands on top of the other, take your hip to the opposite heel and just stretch the shoulders forwards. And then walk your hands over to the other side and just drop your heel, your bottom, down towards your heel on the other side. And release. Excellent. So, coming into our 4-point kneeling position, okay? So we're on our fours, that our hands are underneath our shoulders and our knees are underneath our hips, okay? I just want you to tuck those little toes under and lift your knees up so they're hovering off the floor, and then set them down. So working into your back, into your bottom, as you lift them up, hold, you're really working into your core strength and also your shoulder strength, and set them down. Now lift this one up and lift one leg up into your 90-degree position. Now if this is too much, you can drop that knee and just lift it, or staying up, really challenging your core a lot more, and draw it down. Other side, lift up, keep your foot flat, your knee is still at 90 degrees to your hip, set it down. Now if you need to set the knees down, or you can sit down into child's pose in between, you can. This is very intense. Or keep staying up and just lift it up. And if you can, stay really working into that core. We'll do one more either side. And release. Lovely, well done. Just put your toes to the floor, sit back into your child's pose. Excellent. Head comes down. You just bring those arms round, just let your shoulders melt over your thighs for a little moment only. And then bring yourself back into that position. So this time I want you to lengthen your toe along the floor and take your opposite hand. Now I want you to think of lifting and then draw your hand to the side, take your heel behind you, try and touch your toe if you can, and then come back. So you're taking your leg, opposite hand to opposite toe. Keep lengthening the toes. Excellent. Breathing out as you connect it. Don't worry if you can't reach everybody's hip mobility and shoulder mobility and core strength. And I should say you keep going. If at any point you wish to come down onto your elbows, if that's easier for you, onto your elbows, you can even make a little fist with your hands, okay? So that should be your last one now. And then if you can, reach around, lift your leg a little bit further up, really stretching into the back. And release. So just take your hips around the world. So just draw your shoulders up over your wrists. Take your heels, bottom to your heels. You may have really felt that. And then change direction. Other way. Circling. And release. So other side, just lengthen your leg, lengthen your arm. If you're not comfortable, you can just lift up and cross over. We did that last time. Or lift up and reach around with the other hand and come back. So obviously Joseph Pilates had 34 classical movements, but of course contemporary Pilates, we have all the different strands, add-ons to make it more complicated, to make it more challenging. And of course we take breaks and stretch, whereas Joseph Pilates just did the 34 key movements, just one after the other with no rest, always starting with the 100 to fire up the heart and lungs. Now hold this one, just lift a little higher, really stretching the back of that hip. That is fantastic. Excellent. And release. Well done. So just coming onto the side of the body now. Okay. And I want the legs to be long. So try and also think of your hips. I always have this vision of like a skewer coming down through your hip into the other hip and stabilizing you to the floor, but that's not really a very delightful thought to think of. But think of something, maybe a big hunky person with their hand on your hip bone keeping you from rocking and rolling. So we really want to think of stability in the hips, okay? You've got your magic Pilates girdle on, so everything's in line. Feet are flexed. Now, I'm on my elbow. If you're on your elbow, it's below your shoulder. You're lifting the rib cage off the floor, or if you want to come down into this position, you can and bring this hand in front. But the important thing is you might want to even place your hand on your hip so that you're keeping it stable. So we're going to lift these legs off the floor, connecting the heels, and draw your froggy knees in towards your body. So if that's too intense to lift your thighs and your legs, you can just work one, draw in and out. So this is your modification. If it's too challenging, you're lifting your knees. So the shin is kind of shining up towards the ceiling as you, and the top knee, as you are bringing your little froggy legs in towards you. Excellent. Now, either keeping your legs extended like this, feet are flexed, or you can set the lower leg down. That's your option. Toes are shining up towards the ceiling. Lift it up and squeeze it down. So really working the full range of the back of the leg, squeezing the heels together, breathing out as you extend, and holding this one up, and release. Excellent, well done. Bring the top leg forward. Now you can either have it in this position, or if you want to have it in this position, I just find that really uncomfortable. We're going to work the lower thigh. So I want you to point the toe, first of all. Your foot is pointed, but I want you, to point your toe. Well, it's kind of like a flex position, but I want your toe to be down towards the floor and your heel to be up. So we're going to lift. Oh, that's horrible. Lift your heel up and your toes are down. Lift, so you're really working the inside of this thigh. Oh, so your heel is facing towards the ceiling as best you can. Now hold it here and pulse your heel up towards the ceiling. That is a nightmare. Now flex the foot this time, and we're working a different position. That's easier. I got the worst out of the way first. Lifting up. The foot is flat this time. Hold this one up, and the last one we're going to do is the pointed. So progression, that's the easiest. If you want to keep the foot pointed, then flat of the foot, flexed, And then of course, pointing the toe down, that's really awkward, ow, and lifting it up, really strengthening these legs, and release. Well done, excellent, super. Just bring your hand in front of your body, just push yourself up, and bring your legs round to the other side, okay? So, in our little froggy legs first, so I'll shimmy up a bit, hopefully you can still see me. So your feet, oh no, maybe it's the wrong direction, it's hard to work it out, disappearing behind my settee. So your heels are connected, and remember your option is to just lift and extend without lifting the lower leg, or lifting both upper and lower legs off the floor. Bring the heels in towards the bottom, really opening those thighs. So it's like your little oyster nearly, or your frog legs, and you're doing it from a side lying position. Excellent. Keep squeezing the knees, really stabilizing the hips. The only thing, the hip socket is moving, the hip joint, the knees. And when you're squeezing your knees, imagine a little pencil between your knees, keeping them connected. And then either keep the lower leg lifted or set it down, flexing and drawing it down. So if they're lifted off, just the full length of that leg. We worked on our hamstrings when we were in our mobilization phase. So just keep stretching the leg up towards the sky. Excellent, folks, really brilliant. And Pilates does work up the heartbeat, the heart rate, and release. Excellent. Just bend the knees, bring the top leg over, and straighten the bottom one. So we'll do the opposite way that we did on the other leg. So we'll start with the level 1, then we'll work up to 2 and 3. So level 1, lift your leg, point your toe, lift and lower. So you're really lifting that lower part of the leg off the floor. The toe is pointed, and remember your option as well. If your neck is feeling any tension, you can come down to lying into this position at the side, okay? Whatever suits you. And just remember the shoulder, don't let it come forward or leaning back, just have it nice and level. Okay, so this time holding it up, little squeezes, and then flex your foot. So lifting and lowering, breathing out as you lift, shaping up for summer, these legs. We've nearly had our summer already with this beautiful weather. I think everybody's gardens are looking amazing. From all the pictures I've seen on Facebook, not that I've been visiting all these gardens, but on social media, pictures of people's gardens like myself, working on the garden more than you are on your own body. So please do make time for your exercise daily. Get outside. Now this time I want you to bring your heel up to the sky, toe to the floor. So I hope that you're continuing to do your solo exercise or with your family. Not meeting up with anybody who is not in your household. But do take time to do your exercises outside, and when the weather does change as well, remember you can go and visit any of the videos that have been on our North Down site on YouTube, any at all that have already been posted, and release. Excellent, well done. So just bring yourself into your seated position, push yourself up, bring your feet out in front of you. Now fingers can be facing towards you, and you can have your chest up. I'll turn to the side so you can see me. Or if you're more comfortable, you can be back onto your elbows. So your elbows are below your shoulders, your chest is open. So we're just going to come into little hip rolls side to side. So just let your knees roll from one side to the other. Maybe in those little movements that we've done already, you might have felt a little bit of tension here. And then if you want to progress it and just work into the lower abdominals a little bit more, you can just lift your tippy toes over, off the mat, and again, slowly rotating those knees over to one side, squeezing the inside of your feet together, squeezing the inside of your knees together, your thighs together. And then if you want to, extend one leg out And then draw them back into center, over to the other side and extend. You can keep the leg out, draw into center. You can keep your knees connected, side to side. Now if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, you can come up and then just lean to one side, extend the leg, other side. Or you can, if you want to progress it even more, you can extend both legs, bend into the center, breathing out as you extend. So a little can-can movement, stretching into a double leg extension. And then if you want to really challenge your core, you can just keep the legs out and draw a little rainbow, really working the lower abdominals. I'm cheating a little bit when I hit my settee. It gives me a little bit of guidance to get back again. Shouldn't even say, probably wouldn't notice, I'm too honest. Don't always say what you think, Julie. Legs either side, lovely. And release, well done. Just bring those knees into your chest. You can just bring yourself into your seated position. Bring your chin into your chest and just rock yourself from side to side. And then slowly just rolling back down. Just allow the back to melt into the floor. Allow the shoulder blades to connect. Just bring your hands under, and if you can feel a wee gap, just think of drawing that belly button down into the floor so you're really connecting a little bit further with that back so there's no space between your back. So, curling the chin up. We're thinking of working, we've done some of the lower abdominals there, we're thinking of working upper abdominals now this time. So feet can stay in this position, or you can have them up into your 90-degree position, your tabletop position. So I'll show you from this position first. So we're just going to lift, curl the chin to the chest, reach towards the ankle on one side, this other hand can come up to your head, and then stay down, lifting your shoulder blades just slightly down to keep your chin up, and then reach over to the other ankle. Then you can set your head back in between each one, lifting to the ankle on the same side, staying up if you can, and reaching to the other side. Now if you've got your legs up in your tabletop position, you're reaching down, breathing out, reaching to the ankle on the other side. So working into the core and into the obliques. So working into your abs, upper abdominals, and into your obliques as you twist to the side. Excellent. And if you want to combine this with your single leg stretch, you can extend the opposite leg as you stretch, and then extend that one. So you can bring into your combining two movements, your single leg stretch with your oblique twist, and release. Draw your head back. You can bring your knees into your chest. Just take a little spinal massage one direction and the other. So let's start with our feet on the floor again. So other hand up to the head. Curl your chin into your chest. You're reaching to the ankle on the same side, crossing the body, reaching to the ankle on the other side. Reaching down, breathing out, and then to the other side. Reaching down. Excellent. Keep squeezing your chin to your chest. Remember to take a break. And then if you want to, lift those legs up, squeezing to one ankle, and then across to the other. Don't let the elbow that's up to the side, the hand that's inside the head, don't let the elbow come in. Breathing out. Lovely. And then if you want to, combine your single leg stretch. Really extending, and obviously the lower you take your leg to the floor, the more challenging that will be. We're working our upper abs and working our lower abs together, as well as the obliques. What an amazing move this is. And release. Just take a full stretch. Fingers and toes away. Excellent. Well done, everybody. Feeling stronger already, feeling mighty already. And then when you're ready, just bring your knees in, and if you can, just let your legs come up. Now, depending on your mobility, you may be able to have a straight leg, no bend in the knee, or you may need to keep your knees bent, okay? So you decide, always challenge yourself to working more to the strength of your ability. Keep trying to progress yourself on, but yet we don't want you to feel injured, okay? So just lengthen, so your head's staying down this time, and we're just crossing those ankles. So just slow movement. We're not coming out wide in our scissors. We're just doing a little slow, or not slow, but a little short scissor movement, side to side, across. And then I want you to take them the other way. But just little small movements, fluttering those toes, floating those legs above the hips. Nice straight leg if you can, or if you need them bent, you can still pedal those legs. Now change again, crisscross, crisscross. And of course, if you want to make this stronger, you can lift the head, neck and shoulders off the floor. Other way. And release. Excellent. Well done. Lovely. Circle the spine. Just even let your arms come out in the T position. Let your knees drop to one side. Keep your head in the middle and then take your knees to the other side. Well done. And release. So just bring yourself back, and we just come up into our bridge. So tuck your tailbone under, and then slowly just peeling that spine off the floor. Palms are facing up. Just really lifting the hip bones up. Just draw the belly button up to the sky, really lifting those bottoms up. Now, if you can, stay here. Just lift one knee up and set it down. Then lift the other one up. So your little knee marches. Now, if you need to come out of your bridge, in between, you can come back down, and then you can focus on tucking under and rolling back up again. So your little knee marches, one, and then the other, and then slowly tuck your tailbone under and roll your belly back down, or staying up, and hopefully if you were staying up, you didn't come down with me. Just marching those little knees. Excellent. Of course, I'm looking at you, but you should not be looking at me. You should be looking, well, you should be looking at me first, but once you get the hang of it, keep your neck in line with your spine, eyes up towards the ceiling. And if you want to make this more challenging, take your arms behind you onto the floor. Lift your hips a little bit further. Now lift your heels up. Keep the hips up. Don't let them drop, and just lift and lower those heels. Excellent. Now staying up, bring your knees in and out. Squeeze the knees in and out. Remember, if you don't like your arms there, you can place them down onto the floor. Knees out and knees in. And drop the toes, or sorry, drop the heels, drop the knees. Fix your top and bring the knees in. You can just take your hands in, wrap them round, just let those knees come out to the side of the body. Lovely, well done. And then drop your knees to one side, just stacking them on top of the other. Bring your arms out level with your shoulders, and we're just going to bow and arrow. So just draw the arm across the front of the body, let your eyes follow your hand. And remember that hip is stapled to the floor, so you don't want to let the hip rock back. Just really working into that shoulder. And then when you bring this one back, I want you to just take the arm up overhead, right the way around. Keep your gaze towards me, working on the full mobilization of your shoulder. You may not be able to get your arm right the way behind you, don't worry. And then change direction. At least when you're in your own home, you don't need to worry about hitting the person behind you or hitting your water bottle. And just thinking of happy memories when we were all together. Goodness knows when that'll be again. But you take your arm behind you and you go, oh, I've just hit somebody's water bottle. Or hit your own, and bring it back. Lovely. So just bring your hand in front of you, push yourself up, and swing the legs round to the other side. Knees are stacked, okay? And then just bring your elbows out in front of you, so your arms out in front of you, level with your shoulders, and just bow and arrow that arm behind you and bring it back up. Lovely, well done. And as I say, you should be getting familiar with some of the terms of the Pilates names of the exercises, like when you hear bow and arrow, or you hear oyster, you hear single leg stretch, torpedo, whatever it might be, mermaid position, your brain switches on to what your muscles know what they need to be activating, and then take your arm up overhead and they know what needs to be stabilizing. So that's why it's important to maybe have a little bit of this type of exercise as well, because it actually helps your brain as well. Of course, any exercise helps your brain, but even just your mental as well as your physical, challenging you to remember what the movement incorporates, what muscles you need to be thinking, and release. Well done. So just lift yourself onto your back, and I want you to cross one leg over the other as if you're having a little coffee and you're in a little crossed leg position. Now bring your arms up and cross those over as well. Now we're just going to finish on our core with combining upper and lower body together. So I'm going to show you with the upper body. You're going to squeeze the elbows in towards the navel. So you're really working on, and this is an excellent one at the end of a class to do with our little eagle arms and eagle legs, because we have our little, well, our pretzel legs, they're twisted together, eagle arms, and if you're familiar with the yoga term, and you're drawing this in, so you're really working into your upper body, and you're really increasing your shoulder flexibility. Now, if you want to, then let's just do the lower body. We're just bringing the toes, hovering them off the floor, just keeping the legs crossed and just curling the knees in. And then if you want to combine the arms and the knees moving in towards each other, just a little variation on our crunch position. So we're really working on the hip flexibility and the shoulder flexibility, as well as our whole of our abdominals. Hold it in. Now, can you remember what way you crossed your arms? Uncross them and cross them the opposite way. Cross the legs the opposite way. And again, it may feel different on one side of your body than the other. We're always tighter on one side. Remember, if this is too much, just go back to doing the legs on their own, or doing the arms on their own. Hold this one up, uncross, uncross. Give yourself a hug, just really open those shoulders, just take your legs wide and let them stretch into those thighs. And then bring those knees, lengthen your legs up, really stretch the inside of those legs. Bring your knees together, just let them drop to one side, push yourself up. Just take a little moment to bring yourself onto your kneeling position. Okay, and then bring your arms out as we did at the start. Just rotating your fingers down towards the floor and up. Gradually bringing yourself up to a standing position to get on with the rest of our day. Whether that entails going back to bed, hopefully not. Hopefully this has been a nice way to start your morning. And then bring your hands into the center of the body in your prayer position. Just push yourself onto your knees, bring your hands round behind you. Just bring your hands to the back of the body, squeeze those shoulder blades together. And then bring your arms into the front of the body, just give yourself a shoulder stretch in the opposite direction, a chest stretch. And then bring your hands to the floor. I'm just going to turn to the side so you can see me. Hands to the floor, tuck those little toes under, push up into your down dog position and just pedal those heels one and the other, just really stretching out the backs of the legs, the bottom, the whole of the back. Planting one heel down towards the floor, just bend your knee on the other leg, just get a lovely hamstring stretch. Hopefully you'll be able to stretch further than you did at the start. And then the other side. And then soften your knees, just walk your hands back, staying down here, just grabbing each of your elbows and just rotate the body side to side. Just feel how loose your hips feel, hopefully. Just draw the shoulders down. And then bend your knees, bring your hands to your knees. I'm going to turn around to face you. And just mobilizing those knees one direction and the other direction. Bringing yourself up to standing. Separate those legs like we did at the start. And just shift your weight from side to side. So hopefully our range of movement is greater than it was at the start. Hopefully we feel the inside of those legs really strong, really flexible. You just walk those feet a little bit in, bring your hands to your thighs and just arch your back up. Whoops, I'm nearly falling over. Into your cat stretch. And then bring your chest out to me, head up. And again, arching up. And release. Just walk those little heels in towards each other. Take your toes out, bending in and breathing out. And then just take your toe to the side, take your leg behind you and take a little curtsy and a little bow. Give yourself a big pat on the back. Well done, everybody. You did amazingly. You were really strong. That wasn't easy. It never is. And if you have enjoyed that, I hope you have. You can let me know. And I really hope that you will continue to stay safe, stay well, keep up with your social distancing, even though it is getting harder as we go on. We're missing our friends, we're missing our family. But keep thinking of those reasons why. And don't forget for your Thursday, 8 o'clock, to give our NHS, our key workers and our much needed people in the community, the bin men and all the people out working for the council as well. Thank you so much if you're one of those for joining me and taking time out of your day. And I will see you again, God willing, next Tuesday. Take care. Bye.